Some of you are chasing women who don't even respect you. Some of you are pouring your time, your money, your energy into women who wouldn't even choose you if they had better options. And deep down, you feel it. That ends today. Because I'm about to break down 3 powerful ways women really get attracted to men. Not the surface-level nonsense you see online, not tricks or fake confidence. I'm talking about the raw psychology that makes a woman respect you, desire you, and chase you, without you begging for it. Stay with me, because once I break this down, you'll realize something you can't unsee. Attraction isn't random. It's not luck. It's not about looks or money. It's about who you are as a man and how you carry yourself in these 3 specific ways. And if you miss even one of them, you'll always find yourself chasing. But if you master them, you'll never be forgotten. Let's begin. First, we have the power of value and gravity. Let me ask you something straight. Why is it that one guy can walk into a room and women notice him instantly, while another guy could be dressed even better, smell nicer, and still fade into the background like wallpaper? It's not luck. It's not magic. And it's definitely not just about looks. It's about value. Now I know, value sounds like some vague self-help buzzword, right? But let me break it down for you in a way that makes sense. A man's value isn't about the car he drives or the money in his account. Those things can add to it, sure, but they don't define it. A man's value is how he carries himself, how he respects himself, and how he makes others feel in his presence. It's confidence, but not the loud, fake kind where you're trying too hard. Real confidence is quiet. It's the man who knows who he is and doesn't need to convince anyone else. It's self-worth. The man who knows what he brings to the table and refuses to beg for a seat at someone else's. And here's the part most guys miss. Women aren't scanning the room for who looks the best. They're scanning for who feels the best about himself. Let me give you a scenario. Imagine you're at a bar with a couple of friends. One guy is leaning on the counter, scrolling through his phone, shoulders slouched, looking like he's hoping someone, anyone, will notice him. That's low value. Women see it, and instantly they think desperate, insecure, invisible. Now picture another guy who walks in. He's not the tallest in the room. He's not even the best dressed. But his posture is straight. His energy is calm. He greets people with steady eye contact, and when he speaks, his words aren't rushed. He's not trying to impress. He's just being. That's the value. That's gravity. See, humans don't remember faces. They remember moments. And if you're the man who can create a moment, through the way you look at her, the way you drop a comment that makes her think, the way you carry yourself like you're not begging for approval, she won't forget you. But here's where it gets really interesting. Value isn't about what you give away. It's about what you hold back. Most guys think the way to attract women is to shower them with compliments, text them all day, or dump their entire life story in the first 5 minutes. Wrong. That kills mystery. That kills tension. Value means you know you're the prize. You know your time, your energy, your attention are not free handouts. They're earned. And when a woman feels that, when she feels like walking away from you means losing access to something rare, you become unforgettable. And here's the golden rule. Don't chase attention. Create gravity. A man who knows his worth doesn't beg for validation. He doesn't compete with others for scraps of approval. He stands firm in who he is, and the room adjusts around him. Now, let me ask you, when you walk into a room, do people feel that gravity from you? Or are you the guy hoping someone will notice? Because here's the truth, brother. Women aren't attracted to men who want to be chosen. They're attracted to men who've already chosen themselves. And if you don't understand this, nothing else we'll talk about will matter. But if you do, if you can grasp what value actually looks like in a man, confidence, self-worth, presence, then you'll start to see why some guys never have to chase, and women still chase them. But here's the thing. Value by itself isn't enough. Because even if you have it, if you don't understand the deeper truth about female nature, you'll sabotage yourself without realizing it. And that's what we need to uncover next. Before we go deeper, just do one thing for me. Hit the like button. If this is already hitting something real, what's coming next will hit even harder. Let's keep going. Secondly, let's talk about the truth about female nature. Now that you understand what value really is in a man, let me pull back the curtain on something that almost no one tells you straight. The truth about female nature. Every woman, no matter how sweet, strong, or independent she appears on the outside, lives in what I call chaos. Not chaos in the sense of destruction, no. Chaos in the sense of raw emotions, shifting moods, highs and lows, vulnerability, creation, transformation. That's the feminine. It's beautiful, but it's also unpredictable. And here's where most men mess up. They think these waves of emotion are random. They think her pulling away one day, teasing the next, or throwing a sudden argument is just mood swings. Wrong. It's not random. It's not meaningless. It's a test. Yes, every push and pull, every mixed signal, every jab, it's all a checkpoint. She's not consciously plotting it, but her instincts are screaming. Is this man strong enough to hold his ground? Or is he going to fold like the rest? And here's the sad truth. Most men fold. She pulls back a little, they panic, blow up her phone, beg for reassurance. She mentions another guy. They explode in jealousy, start competing for her like little boys. She teases them. They get defensive, offended, insecure. She argues. They match her chaos with their own anger, yelling and losing all control. Brother, let me be blunt. When you match chaos with chaos, you fail the test. And when you fail too many times, she checks out. Respect gone, attraction gone. But here's where the rare man stands out. He doesn't panic. He doesn't chase. He doesn't get jealous. He doesn't explain himself like he's on trial. He stays calm. She pulls away. He lets her breathe, because he knows chasing only lowers his value. She teases him. He smirks, maybe flips it playfully, but never loses frame. She argues. He doesn't raise his voice. He lowers it. He doesn't get sucked into the storm. He becomes the anchor in the storm. That right there is what separates a man she tests endlessly from the man she respects and chases. Think of it this way. Women aren't testing you to break you. They're testing you to reveal you. Because life itself is pressure. Relationships are pressure. If you can't handle her emotional chaos, how will you handle the chaos of real life? Her instincts are wired to find out. Let me give you a quick story you've probably seen in real life. Picture two guys dating the same type of girl. Playful, flirty, but emotional. She pulls back from guy A. What does he do? He texts her 10 times, panics, tells his friends she's losing interest. By the end of the week, she's gone. Guy B? She pulls back. He notices. But he doesn't chase. He keeps moving with his life. He doesn't react. A few days later, she comes back on her own, more interested than before. Why? Because his lack of panic proved something. It proved he's not controlled by her chaos. That's the truth of female nature, brother. It's not about trying to stop the chaos. It's about being the man who can hold steady through it, That's why the rare man doesn't get lost in her emotions. He makes her feel safe by being unshakable. And let me leave you with this reflection. The next time a woman pulls back, the next time she throws you a test, are you going to panic like every other guy? Or are you going to breathe, smile, and let your calm presence speak for itself? Because here's the reality. Every test is a doorway. You either step through it and rise in her eyes, or you crumble and prove you were never the man she thought you were. And once you understand this, you realize something powerful. Women aren't looking for more chaos. They're looking for the rare man who can balance it. But even deeper than that, beyond the tests, beyond the chaos, there's one weakness every woman has, and it's the one thing she can't resist. And if you understand it, you'll see women melt in your presence no matter how tough they act. Let's talk about it next. Thirdly, we have emotional safety. Now listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you might be the most powerful truth about attraction that you've never heard. Every woman, no matter how confident, independent, or untouchable she looks, has one hidden weakness. It's not money, it's not looks, it's not a charm, it's emotional safety. See, here's the thing. Out there in the world, she has to wear a mask. At work, with her friends, sometimes even with her family, she's got to perform. She has to be strong, polished, put together. But deep down, like every human being, she wants a place where she can drop the mask. And if you can give her that space, brother, she will bond to you in a way she can't explain and she can't fight. Now, here's where most men blow it. Instead of creating emotional safety, they do the exact opposite. They try too hard to impress her. They perform. They show off. They put on this fake version of themselves, thinking that's what she wants. But all she sees is a man who doesn't even feel safe inside his own skin. And if you're not safe with yourself, how could she ever feel safe with you? Let me make this real for you. Picture two guys. Guy A takes her on a date. He's bragging about his car, his job, the people he knows. He's cracking jokes non-stop, trying to fill every silence. On the surface, it looks like confidence. But underneath, it's insecurity. He's saying, please like me, please validate me, and trust me. She feels that energy. Now Guy B takes her on a date. He doesn't brag. He doesn't overshare. He's present. He asks her questions, but more importantly, he listens. When she laughs, he doesn't rush to add more noise. He lets the moment breathe. And if she tests him, he doesn't snap. He doesn't try to prove himself. He stays calm, steady, grounded. That's the guy who makes her feel something she doesn't feel with most men. Safe. And safety isn't about you being soft. Don't get it twisted. Safety is strength. Emotional safety is about being the man who doesn't lose control just because she's emotional. It's about being the man who can hear her fears, her insecurities, her crazy thoughts, and not flinch. You know why this matters so much? Because most men weaponize vulnerability. She opens up about something personal, and later he throws it in her face during an argument. She shares her fear, and he mocks her for being too sensitive. You do that once, and the bond is gone. She'll never open up to you again. But if you can be the man who hears her deepest fears and still looks at her like she's safe with you, brother, she won't forget that. Ever. Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen a tough, guarded woman suddenly melt in front of the right guy? Maybe she's cold to everyone else, but when he speaks, her walls come down. That's not an accident. That's not luck. That's emotional safety. And here's the punchline. You don't create emotional safety by trying to be perfect. You create it by being steady, by being unshakable, by knowing who you are, knowing your worth, and never using her vulnerability against her. So let me put it on you now. When women come into your life, do they feel like they have to perform for you? Do they feel like they have to impress you? Or do they feel like with you, they can finally exhale and just be themselves? Because I promise you this, women can resist looks. They can resist money. They can resist charm. But they cannot resist the man who makes them feel safe to be fully themselves. That kind of man is unforgettable. That kind of man is rare. And if you can be that man, combine your value, your strength, and this emotional safety, you stop being just another option. You become the choice she can't let go of. If you make it all the way to the end of this video, drop a comment saying high value. That's how I'll know you're not like the average guy who clicks off when the truth gets uncomfortable. You're the kind of man who's serious about leveling up. Now, we're just scratching the surface here. Because beyond emotional safety, there are other hidden triggers, like unshakable confidence, purpose, and the kind of mystery that drives women wild. And that's exactly what we'll dig into in the next part of this series of attractions.